Welcome back to another episode of Life Advice You Don't Hear in Church. My name's Tiffany Dawn, and hit subscribe to see more videos like this, or send this to a friend who feels like if they're trusting God, it means doing nothing. I call this trust paralysis. It's a beautiful thing to desire, to want to trust God and to wait for Him and His timing. That is awesome. If that is what's in your heart, I applaud that. That is awesome. But if you're anything like me, that can turn into a form of paralysis where you feel like you can't move forward, you can't make decisions, you can't do anything because you're waiting. You've got to make sure you've heard just right and aren't choosing anything wrong. And especially if you're not hearing anything, then you just feel stuck. I was like this with relationships in my life. Well, really in every aspect of my life, but especially in relationships. I was so worried about making the wrong decision, dating somebody I shouldn't be dating, that I just felt trapped. I was like, I'm single. I don't want to be single, but I'm waiting on God and I feel stuck in this waiting. I felt paralyzed. And again, wanting to trust God is a good thing, but what I want for us is not trust paralysis. I want an empowered acceptance. Here's what I mean. First, acceptance, because you're saying, my life doesn't look the way I want it to right now. One of you wrote in saying, I'm struggling because I'm realizing I'm not married. I thought I'd be married by now. I thought I'd have kids by now, and my life does not look the way I thought, and I'm having trouble accepting that. It's coming to that place of acceptance by first grieving that life didn't go the way you thought. That's a legitimate thing to take the time to grieve, to sit with that and grieve that, and to process it with someone you trust, and slowly to come to a place of acceptance, accepting your reality, your here and now, albeit different than what you thought it would be. And then the second part of that is empowered, and that's the part I want to spend some time on. You've accepted where you are, and you're trusting God with it, but you're also empowered. There is a lot of life that's outside of our control. There are so many parts of dating that are outside of our control, but there are also things that are within our control. And I want you to be empowered that as much as it depends on you, you are chasing your dreams, whether that be dating or ministry, work or career, travel, or whatever it is, that you feel the freedom to chase the things in your heart and to pursue them. Sometimes we think as women, we can't be the pursuers in life. We have to be this passive receiver of life as it comes, but that is not biblical. Check out the story of the parable of the talents. This is one of my favorite stories in the Bible. It used to be one I hated because, the guy gave money to his servants and then said, I'm going on a trip, I'll see you later. And he didn't tell them what to do with the money. And the first two guys invested it and actually made more money to give to the guy when he came back, and he celebrated them for that. But the third guy was scared of doing the wrong thing, and so he hid the money in the ground. When the guy came back, he's like, how dare you? I cannot believe you. I'm going to punish you for that. And I was so mad. I'm like, you didn't tell the guy what to do. The poor guy was scared of doing the wrong thing and he just hid it. And that's when I realized the freedom in this parable. That is like our lives. God does not give us a detailed step-by-step rule book, playbook guide for our lives. Instead, He gives us our lives with all the passions and interests and desires and talents that we have, and says, use this wisely. Not go to this college and date this particular guy and have this particular career, but use it wisely. What freedom! He's not a micromanaging God. He gives us freedom. And that's why we can be empowered to say, these are the things in my heart. And I can say, Lord, please guide me. Please close the door if you don't want me going that way. Show me if this is an unwise decision. We can get counsel from people we trust about our decisions and then say, I'm going to take this step forward in faith and I'm going to see what happens here. And I'm going to pursue the things in my heart. Don't let the fear of doing something wrong hold you back so you do nothing. Don't waste your life doing nothing because you're afraid of doing the wrong thing. Instead, trust God actively, not passively. Trust God as you step forward in faith. Trust God as you are empowered with the life you have right now. For me, it meant dating people and giving them a chance, even when I thought, I don't know if this feels right. I'm just gonna walk away before I make the wrong decision. Instead, I got wise counsel and I said, you know what, God, I'm praying, I'm not hearing anything. I'm gonna date this person anyway. And you know what? Even when I didn't marry those guys, I learned and grew so much from some of those relationships. It was healing. God used it in a good way. It was so good for me to be in some of those relationships. And then with James, I almost broke up with him the first weekend because I was like, I don't know if this is right. Thank God I didn't. Thank God I gave it some time to see what happened, right? And pursued those things in my heart instead of passively waiting on my couch for the guy to show up. So I want to encourage you today, Instead of trust paralysis, live in empowered acceptance in your here and now, having control over the things that you can control in your life while trusting God. If you want to learn more about how to take control of your dating life, check out our course called Updating, the Christian Singles How-To Guide. Link down below and use code YesPlease for 20% off your purchase today. Love you guys, and I'll see you next week. Bye.